Yeah, Weege Show here. Here, meaning my front porch. Weege Show is going to be off for the races for a couple of weeks because I am off my feet. There will not be walking and talking. There will be sitting and talking. There are my crutches over here. Big thanks to my man, Filthy Phil Nicoletti, who went through ACL surgery last summer and had some crutches laying around. I'm sure he's going to be mad that I borrowed them and didn't give him like a Starbucks gift card or something in return, but he already paid for them. They're essentially free, right? Doesn't cost him any money. And also big thanks to this. This bottle of pills here must be doing amazing things, because not only am I not in a lot of pain for having ACL and meniscus surgery yesterday, but tell me if this could possibly be true. This must be the pain meds talking, right? So I'm a half hour out of surgery, get in the back seat of my mom's car. My mom is driving me back from surgery, and I get a call from Davey Coombs, and he says, it's happening. KTM called, it's happening. And I'm like, oh man, Jeffrey Hurlings, he's good, he's in. We already have Antonio Caroli in the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championship for the first 2 rounds, but Hurlings must be good. And Debbie says, no, not Hurlings. Ryan Dungey is coming out of retirement to race. What? Got to be the pain meds, right? Got to be the pain meds. So I go to bed last night, still feeling pretty good. Wake up this morning, still feeling pretty good. And lo and behold, at 9 o'clock Pacific time, 2 press releases come out. One from Lucas Oil Pro Motocross MX Sports, sister company now at Racer X, and one from KTM itself, confirming that indeed Ryan Dungey is coming out of retirement. Who needs the drugs? Apparently it wasn't them. This is real news. Now there's a little bit of conjecture here in my weirdo dream world. I first thought that Dungey was confirmed to race all 12 rounds of the championship. KTM's press release says he's actually only racing 2. Same thing they said about Caroli. I'm just going to venture a guess here. I have a feeling in my gut, maybe in my knee, that Dungey's going to race more than that. I think this is an escape clause. Seems hard to believe, but Dungey has actually not raced a pro motocross race in 6 years. 6 years. Yes, he hurt his neck at the Thunder Valley National in 2016. Has not raced a motocross race since then. So 6 years. Yes, Dungey is fast. I guarantee you the dude is probably in even better shape than he was when he's racing, because he's kind of obsessed with that kind of thing. He's going to be good. And inside line, I talked to Roger DeCoster at a groundbreaking event for KTM's new headquarters. This has probably been October. He said, because the team struggled a bit outdoors last year, Marvin Musquin was off the pace and Cooper Webb wasn't very good until the very end of the year, and he still didn't win a race. They invited Dungey to California just to ride the bike and just give him a baseline. Like, is the bike any good? Is the bike okay? What's the problem here? Well, Roger told me that Ryan was faster than Marvin and faster than Cooper. And Roger said if he lined up at a national, he would have gotten a podium. Okay, so Dungey still got it. But we still have to give room here for the 6-year absence to potentially make him not as fast as he used to be. And I believe he's only going to race 2 races is just an escape clause in case it goes badly. I believe, my feeling in my knee and my gut is that Ryan Dungey is going to race well enough at the first 2 rounds to keep on going, and that's not the pain meds talking. Now, Caroli's situation is a little more complicated. He is truly a part-time racer. He said over and over he wasn't really training championship level. He just wanted to come and experience America. So I don't know if Caroli's really preparing himself for the grind and expecting to do 12 rounds. Maybe he'll pop in here and there. He does want to do Motocross the Nations at Redbud, so maybe we see him later in the year just to keep in shape for the Nations. But the Dunge thing, watch that space. And the best news is Dungey's inclusion into the series does not exclude Jeffrey Hurlings, who's still trying to heal up from a heel injury. Dungey is not necessarily taking the spot of Hurlings. If Hurlings could go, he could still race for KTM. That is nuts. How are they going to find room for this? Well, Musquin's contract is for Supercross only. There is a rumor that KTM wants a second 250 rider to ride alongside Max Voland, and they offered a 250 national spot to Marv. I believe Marv is not going to take that. Aaron Plessinger will be back from his arm injury. But what about Cooper Webb? What about it? Remember on the Weege Show last week, I said we're probably 2 years away from Cooper Webb in the press conferences saying he's happier with his life and racing than he's ever been, and he's having more fun, and he hopes to never retire. Yeah, that's 2 years from now. He'll be talking like Jason Anderson and Eli Tomac are talking now. I think Cooper Webb is looking for a break. My hunch is that he's just fighting burnout on all fronts. That's why he tried to leave Alden Baker, then came back. He's trying everything he can to keep that fire going. He might just be looking for break time. You didn't hear that from me. Maybe that's the drugs talking if someone gets mad that I said that. I don't think you're going to see Cooper Webb racing motocross this summer. That's just the hunch that I have. That has not been confirmed by anyone. And if he is back, well, then we might have, let's say Hurlings comes back, like a 5-rider super team over there at KTM. Now, what's unfortunate is that KTM's Friday announcement here of Dungey and last week's announcement of Caroli has completely stolen the show. The show that should have been practice on Friday for a Supercross in Denver. That's not normal, right? First, let's throw a shout out to our sponsor. That is, of course, the Honda CRF250R. You know it's lighter and stronger and faster for 2022, and it's already won a title now with Jett Lawrence last week, and that bike is still in title contention tomorrow with Hunter Lawrence trying to track down Christian Craig, hoping for a big mistake and a miracle championship run. The big difference of this bike this year and last year, a lot more low-end power. We've seen the Lawrence brothers pull some crazy starts. Sometimes Jett has blown those by crashing in the first turn, but the power out of the gate has been impressive. So check that out at your local Honda Power Sports dealer. Thanks for the support. Yes, again, is this the pain meds talking? We're going to have Friday practice at a Supercross? Fun fact, that has not happened since 2005. Yes, there used to be Friday practice at Supercross. It ended in 2005. So since 2006, there have not been a practice session at a Supercross on a Friday until now. Why? Because there is a live NBC television window on Saturday at 1 p.m. local to Denver, and you cannot get in all the practice and qualifying before 1 p.m. at a Supercross unless everybody wants to go to the stadium at 4 a.m. So they were going to hold practice on Friday. And since they already had the track built and the starting gate there and the transponder set up, Steve Matthes and the Yamaha Last Chance Qualifier Challenge with Privateers was also scheduled to run today. Yes, Steve Matthes was going to hold his own race. Ryan Dungey making a comeback. Steve Matthes is holding a race that Supercross is endorsing, and they're having Friday practice. It's got to be the pain meds, right? Well, even crazier, the wind started swirling this afternoon. We had our man Aaron Hansel on the scene reporting. He said he's never seen wind like that in his life. He actually thought if he put his car in neutral that it would just blow down the street. He saw structures flying all over the parking lot. The track was a complete mess with all this wind. Check out this video from our man Mike Emery, our photographer on the scene, announcing the condition of Steve Matthes' race.
What's the weather report?
Yeah. All Friday activity canceled. Canceled due to wind. Supercross and motocross gods, what are you doing to us? I was really worried that Matthes' race wasn't going to happen at all. He had raised, at this point, $80,000 with a raffle to win a Yamaha bike. Money's coming in from all sources. Christian Craig donated $1,000 to the rider who leads the first lap in this privateer race. It must be the pain meds talking because I offered up $100 to whoever gets last. Justin Brayton's putting up $200 to whoever gets 10th. And I believe Nicoletti is going to have to recoup the crutches money. He was going to put in $200 for the rider that loses his mind the most and yells the loudest at another rider. But that's all now on hold. I believe they will run the race next week at Salt Lake City. That's the Yamaha LCQ Challenge. The riders get in based on basically 5th place in an LCQ. If you just barely miss the main, you get essentially a race win worth of points. And Matthes calculates that. 6th in the LCQ, 7th in the LCQ, that's 2nd and 3rd in points, and they create a point standings to seed riders into the race. I think he's putting a couple wild cards in there. He was going to put in Brees and Chiz, but make them start on the second row because they make the mains most week. I don't know. It's Matthes' race. It is not sanctioned by the AMA, and it's going to be a little bit crazy. Next week. How crazy was this week, though? How crazy was it? Dungey's coming back. Caroli's racing here. Hurlings could be in. Webb might be out. They wanted to offer Marvin Musquin a 250 ride in the Nationals. There was Friday practice and a Steve Matthes privateer race with $80,000 on the line. I was going to donate money, and then it all got canceled because of wind? Supercross and motocross gods, what are you doing to us? What's next? We're going to do a walk and talk on crutches? We're not quite ready for that. Talk to you Saturday after the race. Remember, it starts at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. Watch it on NBC. And thanks to Honda for the backing with the CRF250R. Thanks for watching. Absolutely nothing behind me.